I want to take over Terry's seat because I got some, if I may, which I don't know I can fill your shoes by any means. But as we're moving forward with regards to, talking about what we read in the papers, but really disseminating the information to our citizens, we need to make sure that we give them the best possible information we possibly can. So, in going over, for one example, the veterans article, and I don't believe, again, discussions can be had that possibly could be misconstrued, and in the interest of the correct information to the public, I would like to briefly go through this, because we have a situation where there's information in the paper stating that we had to apply for our veterans grant, asking for $45,000, which was not the case. We had a situation where there was quotes in the paper saying that we strong-armed the grant process, which was not the case. And as you can see,
can you turn the volume up?
That's as loud as it gets, unfortunately.
I see Mr. Heppley's frustration.
Hopefully you can.
Oh, no, you don't. Trust me. But I appreciate that, though.
How would best use the class, not just for us, but for they're going to be looking at these grant applications on what's best for them. They are not all that interested in what's best for the county, but they are looking at what's best for their veterans.
So the point of this is?
It'll come to you, Commissioner.
Maybe not.
Oh, excuse me. It was changed. Pardon.
Are you saying do a hybrid of? Yes. That's exactly what we should do. I'm 100% on board with that. I think we need to hire and additional outreach.
As you can see, we are all in agreement with that that's what we should do, correct? Which is completely contradictory to the statements made in the paper.
We weren't in agreement that that's what we should do. I mean, I wasn't. I had to go back. I can't believe we have to rehash this. This is silly. Was that we shouldn't tell any department head what grant to apply for, how much to apply for, how to apply for it, where that money should go. That was the point. She was asked to be creative in this process, and the motion pigeonholed her into hiring a part-time position for training and travel and for brochures and newspaper and radio ads and whatever other billboards, I think it was. How is that creative? That's what everybody does to do a promotions program. It's not creative, and it's not allowing the department head to decide how her department needs to be run or his department. That's none of our business. They should be coming, every other department brings a grant to the commissioners after it's been written, and they ask for approval to submit the grant. They don't come to the commissioner and say, tell me how to write this grant. How much money do I need to apply for? What do I need to apply for? What programs do I need? If we brought other department heads up here before granting process and said, Mr. Smith, whoever the department head is.
Commissioner, can I use my time?
You
please?
can't.
And you
Well,
can, you
you're-
can speak when
no.
I'm finished, please?
Because
I
this
didn't
is,
interrupt you.
I had 2 seconds. This is what I knew was going to be on these comments, and it's just always amusing to me
I'm glad.
because it is.
Commissioner, this is very important, in my opinion, because
Well-
I believe that your quotes in this article that you're giving to the paper are not true.
Well, that's fine. Then you dispute the quotes with the
Well, I'm
paper.
going to give you the...
Is this the forum that's appropriate for that?
Well, I believe
Seriously?
it is. This is the public forum that's appropriate.
Because
You need to be held accountable for your actions and your
There's
public
nothing-
statements, Commissioner.
I did say what I said in the paper, and I stand by them. So you can dispute them with me all day long. It's not going to change the fact that I said them and I stand by them.
Correct, but what I can do is I can play the factual meeting where you're mistaken, Commissioner.
But which part? The 45,000? The discussion prior to the motion was 45,000, 15,000. And I think if we're going to have really the intent of what this was about, then Kim should also be here for her pieces in the article because she had a lot, we had a lot of discussions about this grant outside of this meeting. So this meeting isn't the only thing that article is based on. So you can play this,
Thank
but
you.
this meeting is not what the article is based on.
Most certainly is.
Most certainly isn't. There's more to the article than that.
And as you can see, Commissioner Brown is not remembering or paying attention, so maybe that could be a problem.
$37,000 for the half-time person, and then another $12,000 for outreach, so we're only asking for.
And that clearly stated that there was no monetary figure. Ms. O'Neill just stated that she would like to go for the 60 and then give herself a raise. My point being is, it's very clear that there was no monetary value associated with the going after this grant. In fact, I stated that the reason why there's no monetary value is all we wanted was a half-time person and the ancillary things needed for the outreach, which completely contradicts statements. Of course, Commissioner Brown isn't here anymore, but contradicts the statements that were made in the article, which is a great disservice to the citizens of this community because they're getting wrong information from a board chair.
I couldn't agree with you more, Commissioner Smith. The article misstated the actual transcript of the meeting. I encouraged, for example, the VSO officer and her liaison to go for the whole enchilada, so to speak. She 5 times in the course of that discussion mentioned she needed a full-time VSO officer, and my encouragement was to go for that. But I also agreed, they said they didn't think they could get the funding for the full-time officer, that their chances would be better going for less. So I supported that argument with that reasoning, but clearly they were not successful with that reasoning.
Correct. And I just wanted, I'm sorry that the venue for this public correction is such, but I see no other venue other than trying to contradict the article in the paper, back in the paper, and keeping this discussion going. It's important that the citizens of our county, in my opinion, have the factual information, especially with regards to our meetings. And to have a board member, she said that she wasn't paying attention when I was talking about the motion, Commissioner Brown. But have a board member give misinformation to the public is not okay.